On the future of live streaming. Kevin Liu, head of marketing here at Traction Labs. This month we have Peter Wilmot, the CTO and co-founder of Traction Labs, joining us. Thank you for taking some time with us.
Hi guys, glad to be here.
So Peter, recently the NBC, the Rio Olympics just ended. One really interesting thing that happened there was 2 billion live streamed minutes from these Olympics, which is more than any other Olympics combined. What does that mean for marketers and advertisers going forward?
Yeah, I mean, definitely exciting to see all that viewership coming online. Specifically, I think it was between 250,000 and 500,000 viewers per night, which to bring sports online, I would say in general that's been one of the major holdouts for the cable company is really having a lockdown on sports content, and it seems that a lot of the viewers of traditional cable content have been buying their subscriptions based on that sports content. So definitely exciting to see the Olympics kind of pushing out of the traditional fold and really bringing that into live digital content.
Well, so how, moving forward, with live streaming, how is that going to change? I mean, granted, the millennials, the viewing habits, what exactly can we see from NBC moving forward on how they're going to tackle this to monetize?
Yeah, I think you hit a couple things in that question. One was the millennials and their viewing habits. Specifically, I'd say that we're seeing cord cutting at unseen before rates, right? It's in and around 18% per year of millennials that are cutting the cord. Maybe if you know more on that stat, you can correct me. But it really is an astronomical and exponential growth for people leaving the traditional cable market. So where's the viewership going? It's going online. It's moving digitally. So if you look at companies like NBC or other cable content companies, it's definitely an issue for them coming up. It's how do they maintain their revenue? How do they keep bringing advertisers and sponsors in to target these audiences when the audience is moving? They're going to have to follow suit that other companies have been going through to bring that content online, bring it digitally, and really embrace the on-demand concept that content is moving. Right? You look at Verizon or Comcast, right? They all are now supporting digitally on-demand content. HBO is another example, kind of the Hulu vein, where now you can get that content on demand. But then how do you merge that and really make it one offering with live content and on-demand content? And I think that's definitely going to be the future of media, and we'll start seeing that growing even faster than it is right now over the next 6 to 18 months.
Well, so one thing that I experienced was this registration wall. Once I got to my app or once I was on my laptop and I wanted to see specific events, I had to register. And I actually don't have cable. Is that something that NBC should change in the future?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely a good question there.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's definitely a battle for them. Where how do they monetize these audiences, and do they give it away for free? And we've seen the freemium model on products all over the world, but I was somewhat surprised that they took that approach. I really do see the future of Olympic content, the future of this live digital content. I think it has to be free in order to get the scale that these companies really need, that this content really wants to be effectively monetized through advertisers. There has to be some solution where it's a freemium model. Maybe you follow the YouTube Red solution where it's free content, but you can pay to get away from the ads. But to put it behind a subscription wall to see any of the content and then show ads on top of it, it seems a little excessive, and it seems that you're shooting yourself in the foot there and cutting off the majority of your audience.
Okay, so since we're on this topic of millennials and the viewing habits, can we talk a little bit about music? So, for instance, music has seen a lot of changes over the last 20 years or so, with Napster kind of changing the way that the music industry works. Whereas a lot of artists now have to make most of their money through concerts, through festivals. What can we see in the music world regarding live streaming? How do they utilize live streaming?
Yeah, I'd say music is definitely an interesting vertical, specifically as that content is coming live. Look at companies like Live Nation, right? Live Nation works with a whole lots of artists. They work with live content running really every day, right? And you look at the music industry as a whole. I believe we've seen over a 50% reduction in sales from CDs, even from downloads within that vertical. So where's that growing? I really see it embracing live and going full force into it. You do see the trend of music festivals and how they're growing in popularity, and you see, uh, the amount of money coming into live content. And really, I think you brought it up in your question. Where these artists are able to monetize, it's through concerts, it's through touring, it's through live events. Um, and I think that's what we're seeing in that industry is actually I believe the music industry has been shrinking over the last 2 to 4 years, but the live space within it is actually growing very quickly. So I would see the artists, they're becoming real celebrities. It's how do they get people to engage with them on social media and via their live content, because they're not getting the same revenue sources. They're not getting the same monetization out of more of those traditional concepts through just selling CDs or just selling digital downloads. So it has to be bringing audiences to come to the live events and actually buying tickets, or kind of extension on those live events and viewing that content digitally, both as a form to monetize that digital viewership and to further engage their followers and bring them to future live events through ticket purchases. So I think it'll be a hybrid there, and really seeing that continue to grow over the next couple of years.
Okay. Well, Peter, finally, let me ask you, as the Chief Technology Officer for a company that is doing something that hasn't been done before, what is that like, where there typically there's no precedence so far in terms of live streaming and being able to amplify a live product? What is that like?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say something is as truly new, right? There's always components that have been done before. We do, it's good to think that we're doing something truly new, and I think we're really pushing the bounds in certain ways. But we do, we rely heavily on the social platforms. We rely heavily on technology that's been built by leading companies. Apple, Facebook, Google have all built key components that we use in-house. But we're bringing them together in a new way, and at least in the brands, agencies, and event companies that we work with and been talking to, we do have a pretty unique offering and a unique pitch, and they've been excited to hear about it and keep working with it. So, it's an exciting space to be in, an exciting space to work in, and let's keep pushing and innovating as the live digital category continues to grow. We're there to help support our partners.
Yep. Peter, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin.
So we will see you again next month.
Sounds good. Thanks for tuning in, guys.